It is one of the most powerful sources of wisdom that we all have. So I'll give you an example. I've actually been practicing, this is going to sound extremely superficial, but stick with me. Intuitive shopping. I don't like to own a lot of things. I'm just not a person who likes a lot of clutter, and I just don't want to have a bunch of crap lying around. And so I realize that sometimes I'm like, oh, well, so-and-so, if I try on an outfit or whatever, I'm like, oh, I think this looks pretty good. And I've been paying attention to like, nope, you're never going to wear it. It sounds so silly, but when I quiet down and I listen, I'm like, okay, I have this little guidance for these little moments of my day on the best path to take. I want people to pay attention to the small moments, what you should order on a menu, whether or not you should make a move with your partner. If people actually look back in time and start to look in their past, you'll see places where you heard that little voice and you overrode it and you got yourself into trouble. You start to filter through your mind. It could have been a financial decision. It could have been a business decision. It could have been about someone to hire. It could have been about saying yes to a job, a relationship. But there were times when something in you was piping up and your ego or an external voice was like, no, you got to go for this. This is a great deal. This is going to get you X, Y, and Z. You should say yes to this. And you overrode that little voice and it cost you big time. So to answer the question, how do people start to kind of hone into that discernment? I think look in your past to where you ignored it before and you'll have examples of like, oh, that's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like. I think one of the best ways to understand it's your intuition and not fear. And we should maybe talk about that a little bit. I can give people a very simple exercise about how to know, is this my intuition speaking up saying, no, like you shouldn't go in this direction? Or is this just fear because I want to stay safe and I don't want to put my ass on the line? Here's how I tell it. So let's say I'm thinking about saying yes to a particular opportunity. It could be a business deal. It could be, speaking at a particular event, anything like that. When I close my eyes and just feel in my body and say, does the idea of saying yes to this make me feel expansive or contracted? When I ask that question in a nanosecond, I say, okay, does saying yes to this speaking engagement feel expansive or contracted? I guarantee in your body, you feel something. It is so subtle, but either there is a lightness, there is like your body starts to expand like this, you lean forward, there could be a little bit of joy, even if you're scared shitless, even if saying yes to this is like, oh my goodness, it's the biggest opportunity ever. Or your ego wants to say yes, but inside there's a part of you that says no, it closes down. You feel heavy, you feel a sense of dread. That's your intuition trying to lead you in the right direction. When I'm talking about expansive and contracted, I'm actually talking more about a physical sensation in your body, almost like either in your solar plexus or in your gut. So it's less of a thought-generated feeling and more of a visceral, full body notion.